We're going to continue and do a few more examples. So we have the first video that we did for solving equations involving fractions, and we're going to continue this right over here. And what we're doing here is kind of doing different variations of what the fractions might look like. So here, the first step I usually said was brackets, but because there's no brackets, I don't have to do the bracket step, right? So brackets, I don't have any brackets. So because there's no brackets, I don't have to do any opening of any brackets, distributive property. But again, these are both over. So this one here is over 4, both of those terms. This one here, these two terms are both over the 3. Sometimes it's nice to break that apart. So some of my students like it when it's broken up like this. So minus 2 over 4. So each one gets their own denominator. And that sometimes it looks a bit easier. This one here is a little tricky because remember, this again, x minus 7, they're both over 3. So both of them are divided by 3. But also, there's this negative here in the middle. So this negative here in the middle, that is actually going to be distributed to both the x and the 7. I want to subtract, so think about it this way. I want to subtract everything there on top, and there are 2 terms to subtract. So I'm subtracting the x, and I'm also subtracting the negative 7. So I want to subtract both of those terms. See how it's a binomial on top? I want to subtract both. So I always suggest to my students, when you see this here and you have 2 terms, I would like to distribute that negative. So it's going to be negative x over 3. Distribute the negative into both the x and the 7. And that's what it's asking you to do because it's over both of them. So then you distribute it to the 7, so it'll be plus 7 over 3. So both of them equal 0. Oh, I missed my equals. They're not lined up, but that's okay. All right, so if then the first line I didn't line it up, the next lines I'm going to try to line up my equal signs. Again, like I said in the other video, I don't want equals here. So there's no equals here, so no equals here. Not on this side. It's already in the middle. When it's an equation, there's only an equal sign here in the middle, not on the left side. You will lose communication marks because you're writing it wrong. So nothing here equals here. We always try to line up our equal signs here together, but if you miss on the first line, it's okay, but from now on, let's try to line them up. Okay, so one more time. I want to distribute the negative into both. I'm going to star this question. This is kind of difficult. This is one of these concepts where you're going to have to keep practicing it because you want to distribute the negative into both terms. This line here connects both. I want to minus both of them. So it's this second sign that people forget. And again, this is something you want to remember because it'll keep coming back and back for future grades as well. Okay, we do this distributive, and you have to watch out for that negative. Okay, equals 0. Oh, I wrote that wrong, so sorry, it's me. So it's equals 1. Okay, so that 1 goes there. That was my typo there. Okay, so now this 1, remember, if it's a whole number and it's involved in a fraction question, I immediately put it over 1. And again, that's kind of a method I use for future grades as well. Okay, so now step 2 is my lowest common denominator. So step 2, lowest common denominator is going to be, I have 4 and 3 and 1, so I think 12. Right, so then 12, so then this guy here will be multiplied by 3, top and bottom to get 12. This one I'm going to multiply by 4. And this one, I want to multiply that term by 12. So it gets 12 on the bottom. Right, so it doesn't have to be just 2. It can have different denominators all over the place. So now let's keep going. We're going to go 3 times x, so I get 3x over 12. This is 2 times 3, so minus 6 over 12. Minus 4 times x, so 4x over 12. Plus, and now 4 times 7, 28 over 12. So one more time. 3 times the x gets me 3x over 12. 2 times the 3, 6. 4 times the x, negative 4x. 4 times the 7, 28. Each one of them are over 12 equals. So see how I'm trying to line up my equals better? 12 over 12. Once they are all the same, right? Once they're all the same, Then we dump the denominators and we go 3x minus 6 minus 4x, keep the sign in between, plus 28 equals 12. Okay, so now to solve it, I want all of the terms that have an x on one side. So this one and this one, keep, with the negative, keep that on one side. And I want to move the other ones to the other side. So I'll keep these ones on the left. It can be left or right, doesn't matter which side, as long as they're separate. So I'm going to leave my 3x minus 4x on this side. And when it crosses this barrier, okay, that equal sign, these two have to cross. That's what my arrows mean. You don't have to show the arrows on your answer. I'm just showing you that when I draw the arrow, it means it crossed the barrier. So then I write the 12, but because the negative 6 hops over the barrier, I put the arrow, so that means it'll be plus 6. And because this 28 is crossing over the barrier, that's what my arrow means. It means it had to cross, becomes minus 28. Okay, and now it doesn't matter the order of this. I could have done 12 minus 28 plus 6. It doesn't matter, because when you add them together, I'm still going to get, this becomes 3 minus 4 is negative 1x, invisible 1. 12 plus 6 minus 28. So 12 plus 6 is 18, minus 28 is negative 10. Divide both sides by negative 1. And so x equals 10. Okay? So let's see if we can do that again. And again, we're looking for this same sort of pattern over and over again. So once we get used to it, it becomes like a steady pattern. Okay, so I hope that's okay. You can always pause videos and then look back and rewind. Okay, so here I see brackets, so my first step is still going to be brackets. You don't have to write these steps here. So when I say 1 brackets and 2 lowest common, you don't have to write that in your answer. It's just for me to remember. So 1 is brackets, and then 2 will be lowest common. So again, you don't have to write these steps, but I know that I want to start with those 2 steps. Okay, so my brackets, I'm going to do 1, 2. Right here, I see whole numbers with no denominator, so I put them immediately over 1. And then I'm going to do 1, 2, 1, 2. How come I didn't have to do anything on the bottom here? It's because they're already sitting on 4. All of those are sitting on 4. Now, some people get confused and they think that the 3 gets its own 4. No. I want you to cover that up and I want you to fix the top first. So that's only going to be, and this is a big, big mistake that people make, so put a star right here. People think the 3 gets its own 4 and then the D and the 3. No, no. So finish the top. So the top is negative 3D, bring in the 3, minus 9. So that's the numerator, right? We've done distributive before. So negative 3 times D and negative 3 times positive 3. There. They're all over 4. All of them are over 4. So then you can say all over 4 or each over 4. There's not a separate one for the negative 3. The negative 3 distributes in and it gets its own 4 under those 2 terms, not 3 times. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to think that this here is like this. Negative 3D when you distribute it, minus 9, all over 4. It's still all over 4. So then they each get a 4. Okay, so it's not 1, 2, 3 fours. No. This goes under, and then look, I wrote it like this. Okay, this is really tricky, okay? We don't want to do it 3 times. So this distributes, and it's over 4, but not 3 times. Okay, so I put a star there because of this step right here. This one right here, be careful of this one. That's the first step. Equals. Now this one's the same one that we tried before. So 4 times 3, so 12D. 5 times 1, 5. Okay, then 4 times negative 2, so negative 2, negative 8. That's my fault. So negative 8, right, top times top, and then denominator over 5. Okay, so then we want to do lowest common denominator. For me, the lowest common denominator I see over here is 20. So 20. So this one I'm going to multiply by 5, top and bottom, by 5, top and bottom, and this one by 4, top and bottom, by 4, top and bottom. Okay, so now I'm going to try to line up the equal signs in the middle and no equal signs here. Okay, so we've got negative 15d over 20 minus 45 over 20 equals 4 times 12, 48d over 20. So see how I'm trying to line up the equal signs? Good. And then 32 over 20. So all of them are now over 20. So you dump the denominator and write it again. So we're going to go negative 15d minus 45 equals 48d, minus 32, not equals 32, minus 32. Okay. Then we're going to try to get all of the terms with d's on one side, with the variable on one side, and then all the numbers with no variables on the other side. Now you can do this two different ways. I can either bring the d's to the left or bring the numbers to the right. I'm going to actually this time switch it up, and I'm going to bring the d over, and then that will make the d's the variables with the terms with the variables on the right side, and then that means this one has to cross the barrier. So the ones I put the arrows for are the ones that are crossing over. Okay, when they cross over, so let's set up my equals. 48d stays where it is, no arrow. This one hops over and becomes plus 15d. This negative 45, see no arrow, did not move, so negative 45. This one minus 32 hops over, plus 32. Okay, and then we're going to keep going with that. So that would be 13, so negative 13. And then 48 plus 15, which gets me 63. 40, 50, 63d. Okay, and we're going to divide both sides by whatever's in front of the number. So 63, 63, that crosses off to become 1. And then I get my final answer is negative 13 over 63 equals d. And that's fine. We love fractions. Yay, fractions. Okay, yay, fractions. We're going to leave it like that. Please, no decimals. Okay, that's gorgeous the way it is.